The answer is take the win and run. I get hung up on certain things. I have OCD, Jake.
I mean, hi guys, my name's Jeff. I'm an equal opportunity lover, you guys know that.
But wouldn't the dog want to stay on the meat wagon?
You say you can convince the dog to hop off.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm intelligent.
That's such a Jeff answer right there. He's handsome, curly-haired, and Jewish, sitting right here. Jeff, you are a golden retriever.
Hey, Jake, that's what you kids call that drip, right?
It was good despite the gastric consequences, but call me the crystal ball here, man. I'm getting everything right except my own picks. That's really, to me, a battle of two of the coaches with the best hair.
Welcome to the E Show, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Founded in 2013, the EHL is your next step on the path to college. Over the past decade, the EHL has established itself as the college placement leader on the East Coast. And now, here's your host, the commissioner of the Eastern Hockey League, Neil Ravin.
Thanks, Jim. And with that, let's bring in Jeff and Jake. Guys, we're on the verge of another showcase. How are we feeling?
I think we're all doing it right. We all got sick before the showcase, which means we won't get sick after the showcase. We all sound like HE double hockey sticks today.
Yes. Or by the time the showcase ends, we'll just not be able to move. So.
Or that too. Merry Christmas.
The good
I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, Jake's fine. Jake he's immune to sickness. So I think the good thing though also is the way that the showcase ends, Jeff. It's like the end of the calendar year for our hockey, right? There's a couple of EHLP games, but we go right into break. So if we can just make it through next week, all of us, we'll be fine.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, we're all excited. I'm excited too, like you said, to share half the schedule with Connor Manning. We're gonna have a lot of really good hockey games, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good standings races that we're gonna get to, and we're gonna have a lot more stuff, I think, figured out by the end of the showcase too. And then the sprint starts, right? We always say it's a long season, but then once you get back from Christmas break, it's January, and the next thing you know, you're in Schneider Arena for Frozen Finals. So it's still, you still get time, but time's starting to run out.
And if you wanted to ask any team how valuable every single point is, just ask Vermont. So On that note, we'll go to Around the E Show.
Let's take a look at what's going on around the E Show.
Around the E Show this week, though, guys, is kind of more of a what to watch for because of the current sprint, we could say, up until the holiday break. So let's talk first. There's a few games taking place before the showcase, dropping and recording this podcast on our regular Thursday. I know we keep mixing that up on people, but we all have busy schedules, right? So, but 3 games today, Wizards versus Express, and like we can't hide behind facts anymore. And Jeff, you and I growing up as Boston fans, like,
oh, I knew you were gonna go here.
Like, at some point, the Yankees fans chanting at Pedro, "Who's your daddy?" Like the Express own the Wizards right now. Like we're just stating facts. Like it's not that the Wizards are a bad team. Like they're a great team. They're probably one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the league right now. But like, why when they see the red, black, and white on the other side, can they not get it done? I guess you could say.
Nick Coda. I don't know if ever since Coda's gone in there, like Jake has told us.
It's 15-1.
15-1. That's insane.
And there are some close games in there, right? I know there was a showcase game that was 2-0. And
two shootout wins last year.
But it's like
obviously the playoff games were all pretty tight.
Like, what is it? Like, what is keeping them from breaking through this pane of glass? I guess you could say
it's good old sports.
Yeah, I mean, they score a ton of goals in every other game, but they just don't do it against the Express, right? So if they're averaging, 2 or 3 goals in 3 games against the Express so far this season, it's not going to get it done. And fun fact, the only game that, in the Nick Coda era of the Express that the Wizards have defeated the Express, Nick Coda was ejected from the game in the first period.
Wow. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's a juicy stat. That is like a trivia question for the future too, right? Wow. I didn't even Jake, you get research done that like I wouldn't even know where to begin that research. So
yeah, have you heard of like Nardwar, like the music guy?
I think so.
Yeah, he like asks like super like obscure questions to like musicians and artists and stuff, and like I want to be like that guy one day.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
listen, I've always known that you've been good at trivia ever since you were like yelling out Mean Girls answers while walking into the restaurant that day. Like we weren't even inside the restaurant yet, and you already knew the answer to the
Yeah,
trivia
we have
question.
another event to look forward to this week, Karaoke Tuesday or Thursday. They have it on Thursday too, so we got
Thursday
two
sounds
options.
so much better to me than Tuesday, but as I
Okay,
said to you 6 times in text, we'll see. So,
I don't like that answer.
well, so I'll reply to the text and say we'll see again. But of course, that's one of the 3 games today. Express versus Wizards. We have this whole conversation. Wizards probably go out and get the monkey off their back today and beat the Express,
So
right?
can we get this posted in time for Corey Fleety to play at the locker room before puck drop so that we can all have dartboards and multiple darts through our faces?
I don't even know if like they need this motivation. I think they want to
No,
beat the
they
Express
don't.
at this point, right? So
Yeah.
other games today we have Little Flyers, Applecore wrapping up their 2-game series, and then Eagles versus Seahawks. Tomorrow, Applecore play the Huntsman, Bandits versus Nor'easter. I actually got down to Connecticut yesterday, guys, and saw the ISCC, the renovated, upgraded. Awesome. Like, just awesome.
So we're gonna be
Spoiler
heading back
alert.
there for a showcase at some
We
point?
are next December of 2025. We will be back there.
All
And
right.
like it's so like I mean we went on a rant on one podcast. Jake wanted to feel like sticky at a rink or whatever he said, right?
Mhm.
Like
You
like
don't feel sticky there, no.
you can't. You can
No,
roll on the floor and not feel
yeah.
sticky still.
You
Like,
feel
you-
like sterilized there. You know,
Yeah.
speaking of not getting sick, you will never get sick at that
Yeah,
place.
like I
Excellent.
felt
We
clean.
love it.
I could breathe. It was awesome. So they host the Bandits tomorrow. The Eagles and Vermont play tomorrow as well, and Bears and Philly Hockey Club. Saturday, Avalanche and Dukes, Nor'easter and Capitals, Bears and Philly Hockey Club again. Nothing Sunday, then the showcase. So for those teams that have a game or two left before the showcase, what if you're the coaches, what are you trying to tell the team to kind of get them prepared but not look too far ahead to the showcase and make sure they take care of business in those final games for the showcase?
And it's probably just keep it simple. I mean, do what you've been doing all year long. Go in and try to beat an opponent, especially if you have an in-division opponent, possibly. Then you got to get points and you got to keep moving up the standings, especially before the showcase starts, because we all know once the showcase starts, this is a league showcase, so it's 2 25-minute halves, a little bit different format. You get the one intermission, but I mean, a team we're looking at right now would be the Seahawks, right? Junior Eagles, Seahawks. That's a big game. Seahawks are 3 points behind the Bandits for that last playoff spot. And poor Coach Zanaboni, Coach Richard, and Coach Ellerman have been losing a lot of heartbreaking games lately. So, I
But
think
won in
they-
overtime yesterday. They won in overtime yesterday.
Yes.
So,
Huge. Yeah.
but I'm sure when it went to overtime, they were like, "Damn it, we gave them a point too," because that was
Right.
against the Bandits.
True.
Yep.
True. I mean, if I was coaching, you know, I feel like I'd be like a Ted Lasso, right? Like I'd offer very little in the X's and O's, but like if you're looking to feel like warm and fuzzy inside, like I'm your guy. So get in front of that locker room, talk about the power of positivity, you know, be a goldfish, slap a little believe sign, step out, undefeated at the showcase, undefeated before the showcase.
Watch The Secret on repeat.
Besides the word "believe," what other words do you think would be in your locker room?
Oh man.
There'd be a lot.
Like faith,
Faith.
America would be there. Yeah. We have just an
Bald
American
eagle.
flag. Yeah.
A bathtub.
A bald
that
eagle,
rotates.
but the head of the bald eagle is actually Jake's face.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
powerful.
Every little star is just me instead of like the 50 state, you know?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just
That's a
little
good idea.
Does
individual
Mikey get
games.
1 star on your flag or no?
No. He's not
Oh,
even on my
yeah,
coaching
thanks.
staff.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, my coaching staff.
Oh man, we're sausage. We're kidding.
But as I mentioned at the beginning of Around the East show, this is really more what to watch for because I want to focus on day by day of the showcase next week. So, of course, we start on Monday, kind of an appetizer, if you will. 2 games each. Jeff, you can get the voice kind of just tuned up perfectly with the 2 games.
La, la,
So-
la, la.
3-3-10, 5-5-10. Philly Hockey Club versus the Warriors. Applecore versus Rhode Island. Rough Riders versus Lumberjacks. Little Flyers versus Eagles. I know we have more games to choose from and the days following Monday. So let's pick 3 of the 4 right now that jump out to us, unless we want to pick the same game, right? I mean, I'll start Vermont and the Rough Riders. I believe they actually played in the March showcase last year in Philly. I know, Jake, your memory is better than mine at this point, right? But for those two teams, obviously, in the positions that they're in, every point is critical, and in terms of their Central Division race for the Rough Riders and the North Division race for Vermont.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a relatively desperate showcase for the Vermont Lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough Riders too. I mean, they're fighting for it in the Central Division too. They got to stay in a playoff spot as well. I'm gonna go with the game that was added. Avalanche Huntsman Tuesday at noontime. Am I on the call? Yes, I am.
Jeff is skipping it to Tuesday already. We were going day by day.
We're still gonna
Jeff.
go Monday?
Yeah,
There's
well-
there's a light day. I thought you took care of it. You picked one on Monday. There's only 4 games.
No, the point was that
That's
we
a wrap.
all have to pick one. So you picked the same one. Rough Riders,
oh,
Lumberjacks. That's fine. We doubled down. But
Yeah, okay.
let's give Jake a chance to
Here
highlight a
goes
Monday
Little
game too.
Flyers.
I know Jake's gonna pick Valley versus Philly Hockey Club.
Duh.
I wasn't. I was gonna pick Eagles Little Flyers.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that South Division, it's very crowded, especially in those like 3, 4, 5 positions. So they're going to be pretty desperate. And then the Eagles, I called them out for not being able to beat like one of the top teams in their division. They've been beating up on teams outside of their division. Will they do that again this showcase? But,
Yep.
at the end of the day, when we get back in January, they're going to need to beat the Wizards of the Express to, really get that weight off their shoulders.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of the Little Fires for a second, I will say, because ALO told me we could, he said the Little Fires are coming. It's that time of year. Here they come.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll have to keep an eye out for that, right?
get
But
fired up. Here we
he
go.
says it's that time of year. So Jeff, you skipped the Tuesday, so we'll start Tuesday now.
Yeah.
The
Monday was so
schedule,
good.
the schedule for Tuesday. I did you guys a lovely favor. You start at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. That's not too early, right?
That's not them.
So
yeah,
we have
man.
Wizards, Apple Core, Little Flyers, Express, Huntsman, Avalanche, Teaser. Jeff is going to highlight that game.
Yes, sir.
Dukes, Bandits, Philly Hockey Club, Rhode Island, Nor'easter versus Wolves, Rough Riders versus Seahawks, Vermont versus the 87s, Capitals versus the Bears. Jeff, you can start us off with that
Hey.
Huntsman Avalanche game.
Thanks, Kamish. I don't know if these two teams have ever played in their existence. Obviously, the Huntsmen
Oh.
haven't been in here very long. This might be the first ever.
Well, it's their
Huntsman
second
has
season
that
at the
been
EHL
one?
level, and I don't think they played in the EHL last year. So yes,
Right.
that is a fact.
So you got a little Danny Storella versus Ryan Arendes. You got a couple of top scorers. Danny Storella doing an awesome job with the interview with Jake, letting us get to know him a little bit more, and then was the star of the week last week. Huntsman have played the Bears really close the last few games, and they're fighting for points in the South. Avalanche, I don't know. Are they getting bored? They're starting to, pound a lot of teams. They're 18-2. Chris Sorrell might tell you so. Can't wait to talk to Big C at the showcase. I think I have all the Avalanche games at the showcase, so I can't wait for my progress report when I'm done there. Yeah, I like that game on Tuesday. How about you guys?
If they go highlighter green, neon green, whatever they are, Drew,
Dallas
how would you
Stars?
describe them? Like they're neon, I guess.
Laser tag. Yeah.
Okay, laser tag,
Laser
got
tag,
it.
yeah.
Laser tag jerseys versus the Avalanche yellow.
Yellows? Ooh,
It's a lot of
more
like
better.
highlighter on the ice.
Yeah,
So
won't be able to miss them.
yeah, no, and it's
See them from a mile away.
and it's one of the rinks that's a little bit darker at times too, right? So
A little bit, yeah.
they will glow in the dark potentially. Both teams. So
Laser tag.
Jake, I'll let you go next for day 2.
Oh, Prov Bears, man! Like that was just a layup for me, dude. We're still in December, right? I get to see Coach Chiller. Owen House is the man, right? Like the Banco Bros are going to be there, and then
Banco
Providence.
Bros.
I've been big on them since the season started, so I love to see those teams play each other, right? From far apart places geographically, we know the how well Providence played the Avs in their game at the last showcase. We know how well the Bears played the Avs, beating them at the first showcase. So I think that should probably be the best game of the day to wrap us up. And it's a solo job. We can all just watch that game because it's a 6 p.m. even.
Oh, and there's no
love
610 on the other side. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Intelligent.
This guy,
Wow.
this guy knows puck. This guy knows puck.
I know, fuck, dude.
I'll be calling that game, so I won't be able to watch it with you guys, but I'll be working.
Yes, and I will be there by that time, Jake.
Oh, shocker of the century.
Okay,
That's right,
listen,
not too
listen.
far from your house.
Neil
no.
shows up.
We
Hotel
we
Leopold
also have an owners meeting during this. You know what? I feel like sometimes with Jake, and I hope Jake doesn't get offended with this, right?
Oh,
So,
no.
Uh-oh.
Jeff,
Here
you
it
can
goes.
attest. You can attest to this. Does
Yeah.
Christina ever say like, "What time will you be home?"
Yeah, good about.
If you missed it by 5 minutes, is it like, "What the hell happened?"
Maybe sometimes.
Sometimes
not
I feel that with Jake. Okay, I'm just saying. Sometimes it's like I'm not even gonna tell Jake what time I'll be there Tuesday because if heaven forbid I missed by 2 minutes, he won't let it go.
He'll give you the slow clap on the way in.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I'll do
there he is. I think
I'll do like a fake like wrist like watch look, you know?
Yeah,
I'll do
listen,
one of those.
yeah. The regional showcase in Walpole, he was like, "Oh, good for you to show up today." I was like, "What?" So
Yeah, I do remember that.
on Tuesday,
Tough.
I will be there at some point, Jake. I'm not telling you what time yet.
Neil's sleeping over on Monday. Joke's on you, Jake. He's gonna wake
I'll
up.
be there like
Hold him
a
up
men's
to the
league
stairs.
game at like 10 o'clock probably.
For Tuesday, though, I am going to highlight Philly Hockey Club versus Rhode Island. I saw Rhode Island play against the Nor'easter yesterday. Obviously, that's a first place team right now in that battle with Providence for the top spot in the Central Division. And Philly Hockey Club, even Bart's kind of said it. He feels like every time they take 2 steps forward, then 1 step back, then 2 more steps forward. And they're in that tight battle where the Little Flyers say they're coming and the Huntsmen are right there too. Of course, those 3 teams can climb their way up and catch up to where the 87s and Bears are, but it does kind of feel like two tiers there in that division, 2 different races. And again, every point is critical. Philly Hockey Club trying to make sure they end the first half on a high note. And that's their second game of the showcase because they play on Monday as well. So to Wednesday we go, move everything up by an hour. Now we start at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. And unfortunately, Jake, there is no solo game because there's 10 games, nice even number. It fits.
Symmetry.
It fits with my symmetry better too. So starting at 9 a.m. though, Nor'easter, Little Flyers, Philly Hockey Club, Seahawks, Rough Riders, Huntsmen, Capitals, Apple Corps, Avalanche, 87s, Wolves, Wizards, Warriors, Express, Dukes, Bears, Lumberjacks, Bandits, Eagles, Rhode Island. Jeff, you already used your Avalanche card. You wanted to say it again
Just
versus
go
the
back.
87s?
Holy versus Sorella. That's a big one. There's a lot of good games that day, honestly. I mean, look at Wizards Wolves, right?
Yeah.
Those are 2 teams don't see each other a lot. Geographically not that far apart, right? Bedford, New Hampshire, Laconia, or Bedford, Mass, Laconia, New Hampshire, but different divisions, so don't see each other a ton. Why don't we go with that one? That's a juicy matchup. Teams that both need wins to stay at the top of their standings. Maybe the Avalanche drop one, and the Wolves can get a little closer to them in the North. Wizards need the Express to drop some games, and they need to just keep winning too. So how about we go Wizards Wolves, boys?
VJ Dubs Express.
He took it.
In the past couple of years, Valley has knocked off the Express at least, once a year since I've been there. I know last year it was really just a Grayson painting that the Express was on the receiving end of. He was very good. So we'll see. I mean, I said the Warriors are better than their record. I think the same treatment could actually be given to the Seahawks as well. Their coaching staff feels like they're right there, and I think Valley does too. So, they could get a huge win against, one of the teams with the highest win percentage in the league. That would be massive for their confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
Also.
For sure. I guess I will be the one then that picks the Avalanche versus 87 because I can't stop picturing Hooley in my head from the Exeter Showcase just like walking on the ice. Like that video lives in my brain when the 87s beat the Avalanche in Exeter at that showcase. So not saying that's gonna happen 100% again, but it may
you got a
be
game prediction there, Kabish?
it may be that one of the best games of the showcase.
You got a final score? Nothing?
One team will score more than the other team.
That was a Jeff answer. You're hanging out with me too much. One team will win. We love them all.
Yes. We wrap up Thursday again, start at 9 a.m. with Wizards, Bears, Huntsman, Express, Seahawks, Warriors, Eagles, 87s, Bandits, Wolves, Capitals, Dukes, Avalanche, Nor'easter. That is a good final day of the showcase, guys.
Damn good. It's hard to pick one matchup out of that again.
Yeah. Jeff is trying to make sure that he touches on all teams right now. That's why he's scrolling
Yeah,
through.
right.
I'm not as selfless. I'll go Seahawks Valley.
I'm
That is
selfish.
like those are my two teams that I'm predicting to have big second halves. So why not just pick them? I love Isaac. What a great guy. Every time like I see him after he loses, I'm like, oh man, like my heart just breaks. I was like, oh, that guy's such a good guy. So, maybe I'll pull for Isaac this weekend or this next week.
Yes.
I'll go for 87's Eagles. That's a good matchup for Moran's new to junior hockey Eagles versus veteran team like the 87s. That's a good barometer. 87s are, one of the hottest, if not the hottest team next to the Avalanche in the entire league. The Eagles are still trying to move up the East, so 87's Eagles.
Yeah. Bears versus Wizards. That's a combination of white, black, and gold versus white, black, and like yellow, right? A little two different shades of the yellowish gold and two very, very good teams. And that kicks off the day too. So 4 busy days. It's funny. Before we got on, we were talking about how we're not feeling great, the 4 of us, and it's like would love to just not have to talk a lot and like get back healthy again. But there's just too much talking that needs to be done, I think. Myself personally, I got the owners meeting and then the showcase. I'm not calling the games like you, Jeff, but the goal of the week will be to avoid getting vortexed. That's my big one. I don't want to get vortexed.
Vortexed.
Yes. Vortex is when you get locked in and you just can't get out.
Oh, okay.
It can happen with anybody.
Yeah,
right?
no, I feel like I could be a vortexer here and there. If you get me talking about like I don't know, like culinary arts, right? Like I could lock you in for a while.
Recipes.
I don't really cook the way you do. I'm more of the instruction guy if it comes with instructions. So like,
same.
I don't know if the culinary arts would lock me in like that, Jake. But other topics for sure with you.
Golf. Yeah.
Golf.
No, golf with Corey Ellerton, and we're just talking.
Oh yeah, Corey was the one who said like we're so close right now. He's like it's coming, and Corey Cashel said the same thing. So both Corey's there are feeling the same thing.
Yeah, it's a Corey vibe.
Corey, love them both.
Do you want to jump to fantasy, guys?
You got a big smile on your face, Mister. Moving up the standings.
Listen, I'm in a good spot right now, and I'm ready to go when you guys are ready. If you
sick of fantasy,
you push the button, and we'll go.
I haven't looked. It's really bad.
It's really bad, Jake. Don't look. You didn't look. Oh. Yeah, don't
on
look.
that note, we'll jump to fantasy.
Now it's time for the eShow Fantasy Challenge. Follow along on the EHL app. Available now for free on both Apple iOS and Android.
And as we start every fantasy, we focus more on our Yahoo League first. And I'm facing the Bastiles this week.
Oh,
Heck yeah, man.
And like Mikey's like trying to like get me to like get ahead of myself. So he's like, looks like the commission's gonna beat us this week. And it's like, Mikey, it's Tuesday. It started yesterday. Like there's a lot still to go.
Early.
And I have a little bit of a lead right now, which is fine. I guess my frustration, and this is not, this guy did not play in the EHL, right? But like, I knew going into my Swayman Hellebuck matchup, because I have both goalies, one of them inevitably should have won, but it would have been great if it was like a 2-1 game.
I would say one gave up 1 billion goals.
Swayman was like, woo, I'm just going to give up 8. Now, Hellebuck was good, so that helped, right? But a little frustration for me. How are you doing mentally with your team?
I'm okay. I squeaked out a win against our beautiful executive producer last week that has now changed his name to Slump Busters because I was in a little bit of a slump. We got a trade going this morning too, so I got a new defenseman coming in.
You're making a trade?
Trading out a goal. Yeah, just a little trade, just a little, tinkering, trying to bolster up the squad.
He's keeping it secretive too.
I remember when Mikey wanted to make a trade. Well, Matthew Kachuk stayed. I'm loyal to my players. I learned about loyalty, from being in a place where that didn't really exist. So I know all about loyalty.
And JT Miller's back on the ice, so I might be getting one of my top picks back. Ovechkin skating, so I'm feeling okay, Neil. I'm feeling okay.
Okay. Okay. I was
Not as
trying to
put I usually
have
am.
I was trying to merge a call between myself, Mikey, and Jake yesterday, and I don't know if it was because service in Walpole or what it was, but we couldn't get it to merge. Right?
Yeah.
And I think we left a voicemail on Jake's phone that was like 3 minutes long. Because Mikey and I were having a conversation, and then it was like recording ended. And I was like, what? Did we just record like our whole phone call on Jake's voicemail? But you didn't get it, correct?
No, I did. I checked it like last night and it was there. I just didn't.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, you guys, he just told you like about how he acted a fool when Jamar Chase scored a touchdown.
Like we had like a full-blown conversation, and it's just on Jake's voicemail. So you did not tell me how his Yahoo League, you also get credit if you beat the median, or his football league. If you beat the median score of the week. That's a crazy little twist.
Whoa.
So, like, for example, in our Yahoo League, Melissa would probably have a better record because she has the highest points in the league. She just gets matched up with one of the tougher matchups every week. So I thought that was interesting. A very interesting conversation between Mikey and I in Jake's voicemail. That's all I have to say.
And she's ready to score 166 points again this week? Damn.
Projections don't mean anything, though.
I know. One person goes off, your projections go up.
Oh, listen, I was projected to lose to the Basiles, and now I'm projected to win.
Yeah,
So,
good for you.
they only mean something when you're supposed to win. That's actually the better point.
That's a first versus third place battle right there.
But as always, if it doesn't work out for Jeff or Melissa, who has the most points in the league and is in like 6th place, you can always pivot the draft game.
Yes, you can. The 24-25 NHL season still has that new car smell. And the action is heating up at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started at DraftKings Sportsbook. Just try betting on something simple like picking a team to win, just a straight money line. And if you're new to DraftKings, listen up. New customers bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. You can call 888-789-7777 or you can visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. So now in terms of our EHL fantasy, Alex Lakoff is in first place, guys. No, sorry. There's 4 people with Lakoff that are all at the top in first place, including myself and Justin and the other Justin from the Apple Corps. And then Patrick Johnston, who won last month, is in first place again. Now, I have a rule question for you guys. Because last night, I received an email from Jason Chilcoin, Jake, that said, please update Michael Bankovich's position to forward. Now what? Because there are 12 guys that picked him as a D. We got to make a ruling right now on this podcast. What are we going to do? Whoa. Jerry, it's in.
I think I just jumped straight to first place is the only way to remedy this situation.
I feel like he should be like a flex player then. He can be a forward or defenseman. No, like for the way fantasy really works is if someone gets eligibility at a second position, he should be available at both.
I don't have a problem with it. When they made the choices, he was listed as a defenseman. It's none of their faults, right? So like as much as it has hurt me, and you know what? It hurt me last month. I brought this up to you last month when I went to that Bears game and he was playing forward. I was like, I smell fish here, you know? But
I smell some halibut in the air.
What can I do? What can one boy do?
He's just a boy.
I'm just a boy.
He could be our first ever F/D on the website.
So, well, true. But as I was saying, the four of us at the top all have Wyckoff, and then we all have different defensemen. One of them being Michael Bankovich, right? So far though, Leikoff 29 fantasy points so far in December. And again, I know it's the 12th, but it's really like a week in because we didn't start on the 1st of December. So he's had a great month so far. Cam Wickens, 25 points. That includes 2 wins at the Nor'easter. Landon Adams, also in the 87s. He has 20 points. Danny Sorella has 20 points so far. So good, guys having a good start to December so far, obviously. But then next week being the big week, it's going to be funny, right? Because we're recording this now. By the time we record again, the month is over.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do a recording
Next Friday.
I pushed it to Monday. I hope you're okay with that. Yes. I need when we spent an episode talking about having kids, right? Jeff, I know you guys are thinking about it in the future. The days when they are at daycare are the best days.
I bet.
And that's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
That's an advertisement for. I mean, I'm not going to say what that's an advertisement for.
Well, okay, Jake.
The same thing, Jake.
I'll rephrase it. Are the best days to get work done? Does that sound better?
Got it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm just glad Brady and Chase weren't there to hear what you just said.
I love my kids, Jake, but to try and record the podcast with Chase wheeling through this room is a little bit distracting.
You love your kids in the same way you love showing up on time to showcases. I agree.
Oh my God. Wow.
Also, Jeff, I have a personal message for you from one Miles kid who wants to apologize for his performance so far and says he's going to start popping off here in the second half of this month.
Appreciate you.
The second half is it's just next week. So,
today.
Yes.
And today.
I believe in you, Miles. Yes. I appreciate you, buddy. Go Stags.
He's the man.
The best. Best that Nord ever made.
Also, I have to say this too, a hot take for Miles Kidd. He said the 87's EHL team will be playing the Express at Providence this year. That was his call.
Whoa.
What? He made a finals prediction already?
He made a finals prediction. He's like, I'm planning on playing the New Jersey 87's in April.
That'll be a rematch from, what was that, 3 years ago? Jack Boschert?
2021?
2022.
22.
22.
Yeah. 21-22 season. Yes.
Correct.
And the 87s won their first ever EHL trophy.
And I was on time to that. So
that was a great game. It was like 2-0.
It was 2-0.
Close scoring, 2-0, yeah.
Yeah. So one more week though, full week really, Thursday through Thursday of fantasy. And maybe Patrick Johnston will win again. If that's the case, we go to second place, remember, right? So right now, our Justin, not the Apple Course Justin, is in second place by 2 points over me, right? We both have the same forward and goalie. The difference is he has Jack Brennan on defense right now, and I have Casey Stern. Right?
Oh.
So
I love the D.
Well, there's not as many players in the top 10. The only player in the top 10 is Charles Day.
Look at Trevor. Nice picks, Trevor, in 10.
I got Mikey. Mikey's in 8th. Jake, Jesus, 34th. Come on, man.
Dude, every month, my D just goes radio silent. For all you'll see, you have like a point in every game in October. I grab him for November. He's like, I'll give you 4 points. The best I can do. Graham Burback commits to college, but they score 7 goals against the Wizards, man. You can't find the point.
Yeah, he's good. He's got you.
And I love him. He's a great kid, but like every month, like no matter what it is, like my D's just like, all right, you know what? We're going shut down. I'm going to be a defensive defenseman this month.
So you know
Wait, guys, how about Trevor's picks? He should start picking his picks more often.
Yeah, seriously. Just wake up, Trevor. Anyways.
He's number 10.
You know what's going to happen now because Jake's been struggling with his defenseman picks? I'm going to get an email December 30th. Move Michael Bankovich back to D, and then Jake just swoops right in. On that note, we'll jump to what to watch for, which is a little bit more like who to watch for.
And now here's what to watch for in the EHL and the EHLP.
What to watch for is brought to you by Game Time, and since Jake has taken so many shots at me on this podcast so far this episode, I'm going to fire back a little bit here right now, because obviously with Game Time, and their new feature called Game Time Picks. It makes getting tickets to see your favorite team play even easier. Jeff, our favorite team, the Boston Bruins, just gave
Oh,
up
so
8
good.
goals the other night, which I'm
Right?
sure Jake can feel the pain because the Islanders are not that good, right? So if you wait till the last minute in the game following when they give up 8 goals, the price can get even better, right? So that's why you can use Game Time. They always offer you that lowest price guaranteed, the super deal. You can buy the best seats. You can actually log in and see the seats before you buy them. I know Jake has done that before while driving to the NHL game that he's going to. He's looking at his seats where he wants to sit, and being that it's the island, there's plenty of seats available, right?
Oh.
Even with that lowest price guaranteed. Listen, Jake, I'm saying that there's going to be plenty of seats available for the Bruins too because they just gave up 8 goals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are
I
at
mean,
500. We're just slightly above 500. You know,
Yeah, every
middle of
other
hockey
game,
season.
every other game, right? But they provide that
Yeah.
all-in pricing, so there's no surprise when you check out and an additional fee there. The price you see when you first log in is the price you get because Game Time Picks takes the guesswork out. Download Game Time today, create an account, use the code THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Terms to apply. Again, create an account, redeem code is THPN for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Like I said, we already basically covered the what to watch for, going day by day with all the games taking place at the showcase this week. So now we'll go who to watch for. And we'll start with the South because they're coming to us, guys. And we want to show them the extra love. Now, I will also say this. I mentioned the Vortex earlier. Some of the best Vortexes can be the South. Not a shot. Great conversations, but you can get locked in there. And listen, I'm calling this guy soon. I think he's coming to the showcase, but the one that stands out to me, and Jake can attest, Joe Sindoni called 65 games at the Little Fire Showcase last year, and he
Not
still had
65.
energy when it was over. Oh, it was like
It was
25
wild.
games. Like I think realistically it was like 25 games.
Holy
Right?
crap.
Joe, I'm calling you soon to talk about the regional finals. Be ready.
Yeah.
But on that note, yes, what I want to do here is mention like a player to watch in each for each of us in each division. So I'll take the layup because he's on my fantasy team. You have to watch Alex Lakoff this week from
That
the
just
South.
makes sense. The kid's got there's almost as many points as Daxton St. Hilaire does in 22 games. He's played 15. That just makes sense.
He took Jackson St. Hilaire getting November Star of the Month personally.
He did. He did.
So who do you guys have an eye on from the South coming north?
I'm gonna go Ryan Arendes, old
Okay.
EHLP vet. Didn't do as well in his first year last year with the EHL Huntsman. Did get into almost every game, only had 14 points. This is a kid that was a 30 plus goal scorer, 30 plus assists at the premier level. Well, now he's developed quite a bit. He's in his age out year. He's got 14 goals, 16 assists, 30 points in 19 games. He had a 7-point game back on October the 9th versus Philly Hockey Club. Followed that up with a 5-point game. He had another 4-point game against the Little Flyers. So this is a kid that when he's on, he puts up points in bunches. So interested to see Ryan Arendes here in his age out year at the Huntsman.
goalie. Who do we think it's going to be?
Josh Sherman.
Cross boss,
Cross
baby.
boss.
Cross
Just followed him on
boss. Heck
Insta.
yeah.
Thanks for the follow.
You know, showcases, right? There sometimes can be the X factor, right? I interviewed Cross last year at the December showcase. Maybe it's going to be a tradition, right? So there we go. And I'm hoping Tyler Branish is back from injury. I really hope so.
Yes.
He's a great player, and I would love to see him play.
I still don't realize that he's injured because nobody knew that he was injured. He just
Yeah, he was so good.
played through it.
He was so good.
Central Division. You guys can start. I said I don't take your pick this time, potentially.
Do we go backwards to forward? Jake, do you want to start?
Yeah.
Oh,
Snake
sure.
draft.
Kai Skillbeck. Why not? You know, Captain
Ooh.
Kai. I'm just going straight personal favorites here. No surprise to anybody. Yeah, Kai's a great dude. He's a great player for that team. I know he had a little bit of a banged up November, so you know, with him back leading the ship, fully healthy, I think they could probably do some damage. And right, we've talked about how they're kind of in that middle bubble area of that division. Well, like, nothing can change the standings like a showcase when everybody's playing at once. So we'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna go with a team I don't think I've called a game for, but still is in the same state as me. Hockey Club Rhode Island. I don't think I've called any of their games yet this year. How about we
Okay.
go with Austin Haldane, who, if I'm counting correctly, I think it's 12 out of the last 13 games he has points, and he's got a 6-game point streak currently going on. Guy I know Jake's mentioned, he's been star of the week. Was he in our college series? I think he was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so
No Antioch.
interested to see Hockey Club Rhode Island in general, but Austin Haldane really looking forward to calling some games with him. Should be scoring some goals.
Yeah, so after picking Lakeoff in the South, I'm gonna really dip further down the barrel. Pick Declan Kelly from Providence, right? Just because of the way he ended last showcase, right? Or last league-wide showcase, the October showcase with the Michigan overtime winner, which actually at the time gave the Wizards their first loss. So really diving deep here, guys. Lakeoff and then Declan Kelly. I'm sticking with that top of the first page of the top scorers in the league. East Division. Jeff, you start.
He called me out. I'm gonna call him out. Miles Kidd, let's go, baby. Equals 9 assists for the Express Hockey Club. Third on his team in points. In all seriousness, no, the Miles is another kid like Ryan Arendes that's been a EHL lifer. He's been here for a long time and just keeps getting better and better every year. And this is a kid that I feel like has even more potential. He's been a point per game player, and I think he will be excited. He always does well on under the big lights. Did really well at Providence when he was with the Railers Premier. So I think he'll do well under the big lights in Haverhill. Haverhill, folks, not Haverhill. Haverhill, where the Valley Junior Warriors play. So let's go, Miles. Let's go, baby. Fantasy points.
Ben Diaz from the Bandits. I know that that's not. I'm not sticking with the first page of the scoring leaders here, but he's kind of the engine that keeps them going. And I, yes, I'm sorry, Jake Diaz. My bad.
Diaz.
Diaz. This is why you call games and not me, Jake.
Dude, I didn't like yell it out, man. I put it in the chat. You were like, Jake, there he goes again.
I think the holiday break's coming at a good time for all of us. Anyways, I remember when I first saw him in the college series this season, like you have to kind of pinch yourself that he's an 06, right? He plays much older than an 06, and I think as we've talked about on this podcast and on many podcasts, points are at a premium for a lot of teams battling to get their spot, that last spot in their respective division, and he's gonna make it go right now for the Bandits this week.
Well, asking me to choose between Riley Van Son and Miles Kidd is like asking me to choose between my children. So I'm not going to do that. And I'll go with Isaac from the Seahawks. I think this is a huge like watershed moment for this Seahawks season. And I think that is I think their schedule, it's a winnable 3 games for them. And I think that they have a very good chance of at least going 2-1. And I would love to see that from them this next week. So I'll go Isaac from the Seahawks.
I feel like Isaac's like an adopted son of yours.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say, like, choose between my children and daycare, but he didn't finish the sentence. So,
No.
Again, I love my children. Daycare is just money well spent. Anyways,
Right.
To the North Division. Speaking of kind of that X factor who leads the team, and if he goes, they go. Cam Wickens from Vermont. I think he is the biggest X factor in that race to get the final spot in the North Division. When he can go, they can go. And when he's asked to put up 40 saves, sometimes he does it, right? So I'm going Cam Wickens.
Oh, dude, I'm staying goalie too, Neely. I'm gonna go with Lucas Bukatovs from the New England Wolves. Guy that's riding a 5-game win streak. Him and Cam Reardon kind of been splitting this year.
Yep.
Bukatovs now 11 games played, Reardon 8. So maybe Bukatovs is getting a little bit more of the run lately. Great numbers, 229 goals against, 918 save percentage. Some great save totals, just made 37 saves against the Dukes, made 36 saves against the Avalanche. on 40 shots. So we've seen a good amount of pucks. And I haven't seen him yet. So I'm interested to see what that Wolves netminder has in him. And Lucas Bukatovs, we talked about Cam Reardon so much over the last couple of years, but there's another goalie up at Merrill Fay Arena too. So
Are you picking like a Jake favorite or like where are we going now?
Well, who would you think?
Andrew,
What would you think?
You're gonna pick Andrew Duval.
I thought about it,
Ah.
but wake up, Grant Burback. Team Jake needs you, Grant Burback. The alarm's going off, man. Stop hitting snooze. I need you. Get some numbers here,
get
kid.
up. Wake up.
I can't wait for his first goal. He's gonna like find Jake in the ring and just point at Jake.
Yeah.
That's for you. So big showcase coming up, guys. I don't know how I wanted to bring this up earlier and I forgot. I think Jeff, Jake seems to love animals. Big fan of animals.
Big animal guy.
I have a
Dog baby.
Amazon package coming today. I bought something for the owners meeting that when I bring it from the owners meeting to the showcase, I think Jake is going to play with it the entire time. Jake has no idea what I'm about to show you guys right now.
You made me sound like an 11-year-old.
Yeah, right? He's gonna play with it all day, every day.
I bought this like camera. So these are called meeting owls.
Owl Labs. Yeah.
You see, it looks like an owl, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess like this part on top is like the camera. So what I've done for our meetings in the past is I've just put like a microphone in the middle of the room. This thing like 360 camera. So at the showcase, we're gonna put it up in the conference room, and I'm sure Jake's gonna be just running in circles around the camera.
Yeah, very
And
possibly.
the owl sees all, Jake.
I'm gonna try to like develop. Like I'm gonna try to create like some motion blur. Like try to go so fast that it can't even keep up with me. That's my goal for the showcase.
Oh my god.
Get the trailer unhitched. You know.
So it was Amazon's cool. We can spend another episode on Amazon. I bought it yesterday. Said coming Friday. Then you get the email today. It's coming today now. How'd they do that?
Jeff Bezos.
That's awesome. I know the Amazon, one of those warehouses is right next to the Avalanche rink. So maybe they were like, he needs this now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But they're the reasons why we can't have a second sheet at the ice den, right?
That's a good question. We'll have to figure that one out. So
They were ready to They were ready to sponsor us until Jeff dropped that line right there.
Nah.
Jeff, I'm sorry. I didn't even tell you about this. Where did I stop on my way home yesterday?
Ray's Deli?
Yes, I stopped at Ryan's. It was
Nice.
awesome. Yep.
How was it? Delicious?
Oh, it was tremendous. Vicky
Best deli
goes,
ever.
"Did you not get yourself a sandwich?" I was like, "Oh." She's like, "Where's? I see my sandwich. Where's your sandwich?" I was like, "I ate it in the car." what do you expect me just to look at it for 2 hours?
Barely made it out of the parking lot. It was toast.
Oh, I got like all set up. Jake would have totally made fun of me. Sorry, Jeff. Because I like got in the car, I laid everything out, got the napkins ready, and just started driving slowly because I drive like a grandpa, according to Chris. Anyways, I'm going off the rails. We got a showcase next week, guys. If you can't make it in person, as always, tune in on Flow Hockey. Our cutie patootie is not calling into the games, but he will be on the microphone doing the reporting.
Catch him on Instagram at Eastern Hockey League.
All week long. And again, it's a huge week for us. This December showcase every year is one of our biggest events. Looking forward to seeing all the college coaches there and the players as well. Big points on the line. We'll see you guys in Haverhill.
And catch us Tuesdays and Thursdays at the Tavern on Merrimack after the showcase for karaoke with the E Crew.
I'll be there Thursday, not Tuesday.
See you in Haverhill.
Thanks for listening to The E Show, presented by the Hockey Podcast Network. Learn more about us at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when our next podcast episode is released.